Good morning. It's time for cards and coffee. And I got a couple of crazy cats sitting here, so we may or may not have some kitty time. As usual, I'm going to get things set up here in the background so I can watch along. Make sure nothing goes wonky. And there's Yoda. I have Yoda and Bling and Rosalie here right now. Ooh, careful walking across the computer, please. Thank you. So come on in and find me. So today we're going to be making a card and a project, cute little box. And I'm going to show you the paper pumpkin that we worked on last night. Got a few announcements. There's Yoda. Hey, Patience, welcome. All right, buddy, you're gonna have to get off the table. He hasn't joined us like this for live for a while. All right, come on. Yes, there's room over there for you to sit. Good morning, Katie. So glad to see you guys. Patience, I'm so sorry that there was confusion. The crafting rooms are like a live chat, and that way we can all kind of talk through anything that we need to do on the paper pumpkin and share what we're doing, rather than just everybody watching me, because you know that's not always exciting. When you've got your own stuff, you want to show it off at the same time. So that's what we do on there, and I will try to find times that are no fighting. Sorry, squirrel. Actually, kitties. I will try to find times that most everybody can get together in the future, because I know some people work and some people have things going on, and this was after the holiday season, and so yeah, I didn't expect a whole lot of people to be able to join us. I was hoping for a few of you. Katie and I had a lot of fun though, and I think we both blasted through our whole box while we were doing things, because this was such an inspiring set. So, good morning, Lynn. How are you? I have to look over there to see my comments. All right, so let me flip things around here so that I can show you what we're doing. Actually, I have a whole pile of stuff here. Scoot that aside for just a minute, because I do want to show off some of the paper pumpkin. All right, gonna hide you. I have this fantastic new mic boom for my camera that Cole got me for Yule. Love it, love it. Good morning, Sherry. So let me show you guys how amazing this month's paper pumpkin is. It is so cute. So this is very comforting, and the stamps that you get are this super cute little bear, and I'll be doing some alternative cards just with the bear stamp, the flowers. We got 3 sentiments. We have hooray, you are on my mind, and get well soon. And then there's the little koalas and the panda bear. I think it's a panda. Kind of looks like a cinnamon bear too, though, maybe. I don't know, because it's not black and white, so I'm not sure it's a panda. And then this little red panda here. It could be a raccoon, and it could be a fox, but it's got the little tail and it's red. So they're calling it a red panda. We'll go with that. And here are some of the cards I made. I'm hoping Katie will post some of hers too, because they're all really cute. Good morning, Cole. Cole's here.
Hi.
Hi, Lenora. All right, so here are some of the cards made as they are shown. And then of course I went rogue. Now these don't have sentiments on them because I don't know what sentiment I want yet. So I didn't put sentiments on all of them. But then I started playing around, putting things in different places, combining the elements a little differently, cutting things up because I like to cut things up. This just gives you an idea of a little bit of the versatility. This one's my favorite. Made a little bamboo forest for the koalas. So there was last night's fun. And the Stampin' Spot that you get this month is rich razzleberry, which is a purple, and I love it, love it, love it. All right, so we'll set that aside. The projects that we're going to make today is this cute little box. This is one of the little mini pizza boxes. You can put whatever you want in there, treats or jewelry. So we'll be working with this and also this cute card. And we are using the Forever Fern stamp set, and the die set that goes with it is the Forever Flourishing. And this comes chock full of all kinds of greenery and sprigs. This is a good one to have in your arsenal because you can always just add these little ferny flourishes to a lot of different cards. And then these are the stamps that go with it. These are the distinguished stamps, and that means you get a lot more shading. Pull the card up here so you can see it. Let's see all the beautiful shading in the stamping. We're going to be doing some dimensional stamping. We're going to be working with vellum. So there's a lot of fun things that we're going to be doing today. And where is my little, oh, I did not bring my little cut and emboss over. Hold on just one second. We're gonna play with this today. Woohoo! I'm so excited.
It's so tiny.
I know, it's cute, isn't it? I love it. It's tiny, but it's super powerful. All right, so we will set this aside for just a minute. And my trimmer. See, I'm so excited about today that I didn't even get set up properly. Reading through comments. Katie says, good morning, Cole.
Morning, Katie.
Sherry, I'm glad that you joined us before you popped off to church. All right, you guys, let's do some announcements. Let me find my paper with announcements on it. January's Paper Pumpkin is going to be all about the hearts, so subscribe to that by the 10th and you'll be able to join us for that. I'm going to start doing some card classes, and these will be called Mail and More card classes. There'll be 4 options. I will do some more information about those in the future. Hold on while I adjust this just a little bit. So look for the post about those. There will be either 4 different cards and a 3D project and 2 of each card, or there'll be 6 different cards, 2 of each card for each of the classes, 4 different options. Celebration starts January 5th. I'm so excited about this because for every $50 that you guys spend, you get free stuff. And there are several stamp sets that are available for free, and DSP, lots and lots of really cool stuff. So there'll be more information about that coming too. I put up a poll in this group to see if we want to keep this time or move it to a different time. I have gotten comments that, well, Sunday is not good at all, and I'm sorry, but Sunday is really the only day I can do this because a lot of you know I have other obligations, and Sunday is one of my days that I'm a little more flexible. So if there's a time that works better for you than 9 a.m., let me know. Right now it looks like 3 p.m. is kind of winning, and that's a good time for me too. All of the times that I listed are good for me because today starts Cole's days off, but he takes a nap on Sunday. He works nights, for those of you who don't know. So when we see him in the morning, he's just getting off work, and then he takes a brief nap in the afternoon. So I've got some more time to myself. And then Monday and Tuesday, we have off together. Yay. Yay. Starting the first of the year, which is going to be next week already. Oh my gosh. And coffee. Everybody enjoy your coffee. Next week, I'm going to have a new page to go live from, and I will mirror it onto this group. So I'll be pretty busy after we decide on what time we want to move Cards and Coffee, if we're moving the time. And then I'll get you all liking that page and letting you know what that's going to be. Facebook really likes us to go live from pages rather than groups, and then share the live into the groups. So to to appease Facebook gods, which is what we're all ultimately after, to keep Facebook happy. I'll be doing that. So I'll let you know all the details on that later. Whew, okay, that was a lot. So, and Katie posted a sale. Is that still going on? The BOGO, is that still going on for the nails? Because I want to mention that if it is, and if it's not, then everybody can just forget that I said anything about it. All right, so let's go ahead and cut our card base. We're doing 5.5 along the long side. Okay, the BOGO is still, and that is such an amazing offer. So if you need some nail sets, this is a great time because it's the usual buy 3, get 1 free, and then you get a mystery set on top of that. So you're actually getting 2 free sets. And you guys all know that Katie and I both cross-promote everything that each other does. So we do a lot of things together. And it's really weird not having you here to craft with today, because you were here for all of the Yule holiday. All right, I'm going to move some of this stuff out of the way. The inks that we're going to use today are Gray Granite and Flirty Flamingo. And that's going to be on our cute little box project. And then we're going to use Pretty Peacock, Bermuda Bay, Shaded Spruce, and Old Olive. So if this is a project that you're doing with me at home, feel free to make these your own colors. That is the cool part of this, is that you can make it your own. Here's our vellum. We'll be using a little bit of our vellum. So let's go ahead and cut that now. Actually, I've got a piece here. So this is going to be an overlay on our our card, we're going to cut it at 5 and then at 3 3/4. I'll just set that aside for a minute. And okay. I have all kinds of scraps, so I just piled everything up, and if it looks like I'm disorganized this morning, I'm so sorry. I had so much fun making this project, and then I just bundled everything all up together and set it aside. So we're going to be using, this is the Forever Greenery DSP, and the colors that go with this one are the Garden Green, Just Jade, Pear Pizzazz, Pretty Peacock, Shaded Spruce, Soft Seafoam, and Whisper White. So basically all of your greens are going to go with this paper. Pull this out so we can look through. Here is this beautiful stripe. On the other side of that, we've got the eucalyptus and the olive leaves with a little bit of, I'm not sure what this sprig here is, but you've got so many colors, very rich green. And we've got ferns with this lovely green speckle, olive leaves, some ferns. This one I absolutely love. These look more like succulent leaves to me, which is a good thing. Oh, and you guys, we have a succulent set that is to die for coming out in the new January to June mini catalog. We will be getting into that one. This kind of looks like bamboo. And we've got more of our little leaves. Lots of leaves. Love, love, love leaves. Okay. So I want to work with this one for our card base. And this is what our vellum is going to go over, and see how it's just going to mute that down, make it really lovely and soft. So this one we're going to cut at 5 1/4. And 4. If you are following along and creating your own cut sheet, those are your dimensions. And this is how it's going to sit on the card. All right, so let's grab a piece of our white. And remember last week I told you that Stampin' Up! Has changed our white. So the Whisper White is going away. We're coming out with a really beautiful basic white. You will probably not even notice the difference, but it will be called something different when you go to look for it in the catalog. So we're going to be stamping some of our pretty leaves. Let's go ahead and start with the olive. And we'll do that with our old olive ink. We're going to be doing some generational stamping. So remember from previous lives that our generationals, we can get several images off of one stamp just by reusing the stamp. See, we've got 3 successive shades there. And we're going to be using the first and second generation on this one. So we'll stamp this one twice. And I'm glad there's no kitties sitting here right now because they really hate the noise that the stamp and scrub, the mist bottle makes. They think it's the boo bottle. That's what we call it when the kitties are bad, is that we spray them with the boo bottle. You know, we don't even have to spray them anymore. We haven't had to spray anybody for years, because we train them when they're kittens, and now all we have to do is most of the time just pick up the bottle, and if that doesn't do it, then we just shake it and they run. They stop being bad. And this is our eucalyptus. So, well, let's do that one in our pretty peacock. And we want 2 of those. See the nice change in color that we get between the generations? I just love it. And our next one will be one of these. We want the little leaf. Yeah, let's do a little leaf. And our Bermuda Bay. Okay, now we're going to cut these out a little bit so that we can run them through our mini cut and emboss. The mini cut and emboss has about a 3.5 inch tray, so we want them to be small enough that we can run them through there. The thing I really like about the mini is that I can toss this in my tote bag and take it over to the mercantile. It weighs almost nothing. It is so light. All right, so we've got several different plates to use here. This is your base plate, and this is not a cutting surface. This is what's going to support everything. And we've got our 2 clear cutting plates. Put one of them down, our image on there. And then we'll find our dies that fit that one. Now this is a magnetic sheet that does not come with the dies. I put these on there separately because I really like having something that is magnetic to, you guys have seen me drop stuff a lot, so you understand why I do magnets. It just helps me not lose stuff. All right, so we're gonna line that up, and then this is going to go on top. Now you're going to get a better experience if you stagger these just a little bit as they go in there. They do have a beveled edge, but they still work a little bit better to start off with if you bevel just a little bit. See how quick and easy that was? Love it. And it works in both directions, so we're just going to put this on the next one and then run it right back through. And there's why we have magnet, because otherwise that would have probably just fell on the floor. So what do you guys think? Do you love this little cut and emboss? Isn't it? I do. I just think it's awesome. Katie says she loves it. I'm so excited for you to get yours. Oops. A little bit of a wobble there. Cole's standing here watching. He hasn't gotten to play with this one yet. One of these days, huh?
One of these days. Now I don't have to feel guilty about being the first one to marvel right.
No, I've already done that.
Your generational stamping always looks so much nicer than mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, thanks. I think yours looks pretty good, though. I've seen you do it. All right. Yep, patience. There, I just read your comment. There is a lot that goes into a handmade card, and but that doesn't mean that if you're brand new, that you can't do this. That's kind of the point of the card classes that I'm going to be coming out with, is that I'm going to make it easy to get into things, and that I'm going to do all of the die cutting and punching that is needed on the cards, so that beginners can kind of focus on the stamping and learning one aspect at a time. And all of the die cuts will be done for you. Of course, I can't do any stamping on the die cuts. That's not allowed, but the die cuts unstamped will be provided. And then this one, we're going to just cut some shapes out of our DSP. not DSP, out of our cardstock. And the kits classes will just kind of help ease people into doing this, because it is overwhelming, and I understand that, because you know I've been there too. I wasn't born doing this.
And I think the emboss machines are only scary the first time around.
Yeah,
And then it's like a big old toy.
it really is. It's like, woohoo, what else can I cut up? Yeah, the very first time that you emboss or cut something and you mar up your plate, your first reaction is, and after that, it's just like, oh, this is fun. So I'm going to flip this over. You'll see that they start getting curved. You want to keep this curve, you want to keep your plates flat. And the way to do that is to cut evenly on the other side. So we're going to flip this one over.
Making me coffee.
More coffee. More coffee's good. And you want to cut on your full surface, so don't be afraid to move things around. Aw, Katie, thank you. I try to make everything accessible and teach like I like to learn, so if that's how other people like to learn, it works out really well. I would love for everybody to be just standing around the table and get their hands on all of the tools and toys with me. And this is the next best thing. Cut back where it's not going to fall on the floor. The kitties find all of these when they fall on the floor. And then they end up who knows where. We did a complete flip of our house. Our house has a very open floor plan. And so our living room, great room area is all open from one side of the house to the other. And so we flipped everything just 180 degrees over last week. And in doing that, we got to do a little bit of deep cleaning, and we found all kinds of stuff that had fallen on the floor and then gotten batted under something or other. So on our vellum, we want our vellum sheets to be free-floating or look like they are free-floating. So we're only going to run a line of Stamp and Seal across the middle. And if you want to make sure that you get that nice and even, you can use your grid paper. And that way you can just draw straight down one of the lines. And then just center that. And you see that the tape runner makes a little bit of a line there. We're going to cover that up, so don't even worry about it. And this little bar right here, I've cut out of the Bermuda Bay, and this is what we're going to use across the center as our sentiment bar. So let's take 1/4 of an inch off that. This is, let me put my paper trimmer behind me. All right, so this is 1 inch. One inch by 4 inches. That's what we're going to do here. And then let's stamp our sentiment on that. And let's do love and laughter forever after on this one. I did You Can Do It on the last one. And there's also a hello stamp that would fit on there as well. We need to make just a little wider bar to do to a friend that makes me smile. We're going to use this stamp on our box, and I'm going to show you how to mask that off, because all we're going to do is take the smile off of that. So there's something to look forward to. Okay, we're going to stamp this one with our pretty peacock, because it kind of makes a dark tone on this cardstock. Yes, matches the shirt that Cole's wearing. One of these days we will get him on camera. One of these days. Maybe.
Your nail set goes with it too.
Oh, my nail set goes with the cards today.
Yeah, totally.
Yay. Thanks, Katie. Keeping me all so perfectly coordinated here. All right, so let's just set this aside for a minute. And we're going to place all of our pretty leaves. Actually, before we do this, let's go ahead and attach this to our card base. Because once we get our sentiment bar on there and it's got dimensionals, and then we're not going to want to be pressing on it. So we'll go ahead and attach this with our stamp and seal. You can use glue, whatever adhesive you prefer. Everybody has their own preference. And I'm just going to center that. All right. And then we will stamp something cute on the inside of that in a minute, yeah. And the envelope, because, you know me, no naked envelopes. Hello, bling. All right, so we're going to come in from both edges with this, and don't worry about them sticking over, because we're going to trim these off, and that's going to give it even more of a polished look. I am going to use our fine tip glue for this. Come on, come through. You can't stand on the computer. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Thank you. Sit in the chair back there. Take a drink of coffee while I'm rearranging a kitty. I'll take one too. All right, she almost wiped out our die cut. All right, so on these, don't put any glue from here down, because we will be cutting that off. You don't want any glue sticking on this. But I like to just give a little dot on each of these petals. If you want some of them sticking up, then don't put glue there. And she's back. And I just saw that. Let's see if I can get that out of there.
Nice.
If you just put little dots of glue in the middle, then you don't have to worry about your glue seeping over the edges. If you are heavy-handed with your glue, my advice is to use crystal effects to glue things down with, because that way what seeps out is going to have glitter in it, and it looks pretty.
It's pretty remarkable how little of the glue you're using you need to apply those.
It really is.
I discovered that when I was doing the really intricate stuff, and I was like really scared that it was going to go over. And then just like the paper had to barely look wet for it to stick.
Yeah.
I was really impressed.
So these, just keep a tiny little line of glue, give it a couple dots there. Didn't put any on the stem that I'm holding. And feel free to arrange these the way that you want them. Lenora, we do not have any snow, not here on the valley floor. There's snow on the mountains, but it's like at least halfway up. I'm so worried that fire season is going to start in like February this year. We should have a lot more snowpack than we do. It's kind of scary. I'm just putting these on here randomly because, you know, if we were to throw some leaves out, that's how they would land. All right, so see how this kind of started creating some dimensions all on its own? That's what we want. And if the tips of them don't adhere all the way down, that's okay too. They pop up. Leaves do that. And you can even kind of flip them up a little bit with the tip of your fingernail to give it some more depth. Our sentiment bar, we're going to use copious amounts of dimensionals because we want it to pop up and stay popped up. So remember the ones in the middle, no saggy bellies. Oh, you guys, I got a cute, super cute little paper scrap discard bin for Yule. Look at that, fa la 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 llama. So I don't have to throw things on the table like I did there.
Old habits.
Old habits, that's right. All right, now we're just going to center that across where we put the stamp and seal. and you will never see that again. And there is our card. We're going to trim the little edges that are sticking over. So just pull your vellum out a tiny bit and clip those off. If you want to leave like the little leaf there, that's fine. Kind of looks cool that way. But I am going to clip the stems. There we go. Putting them in the discard bucket. And what should we stamp on the inside? I kind of like that olive sprig. And envelope, let's do that at the same time. Figure out where I put my olive. We're going to do dimensional on these two. Do some first dimension or first generation here on the envelope, and the second on the card. We're going to just kind of stamp off the edge. And that gives a real nice continuity to the card. All right, so our next project is going to be this adorable little box, little treat box. And we're going to be using some really fun elements here. We're going to do a little bit of die cutting, some stamping. I realized when I was going through things that I have these beautiful gold hoop embellishments that I never used. So we're going to use one of those in there. And one of our mini pizza boxes. So these have a shiny side and a matte side. You can use either one. Since we've just got the little bit of embellishment on the side, on the top, and we're not doing anything with the sides, I chose to let the glossy side come through. And folding them up is super simple. Just throw those bits away. Put those in. And you want to overfold a little bit on the sides so that they don't bow out. So I fold those completely flat. Sounds like somebody's setting off fireworks out there.
I thought it was a hammer.
Is that what it is?
I'm not sure though, because I can't see where it is.
Neighbors are making noise this morning.
It's Dwayne, I think.
All right, there's our little box. So we're going to decorate the top of this with some of that pretty stripe. And this is just slightly larger than 3 inches. It's like 3 3/8. And I've got a little piece in here. Let's see how close it is. Okay. I'm going to trim just a scotch off of that. You remember that a scotch is however wide that line right there is.
I totally do that too.
There we go. Perfect.
Paper cutter freehand.
All right, and stamp and seal that to the box. You can glue it if you want to. All right, our box is ready. Now let's do some of our, where'd that piece of white paper go? We're going to stamp one of the small leaves. Let's use this one. No, I want it to go the other way. And we're going to use our Flirty Flamingo because I love pink and green. I'm ready for spring. Pink and green are like the ultimate spring colors combination for me. I know for everybody has their own spring combination, but that's mine. It's pink and green. So what are the colors that make you think of spring? And machine, please. Thank you. Let's choose our die. I think it's, nope, not that one. I have these two little leaves and they're virtually the same except for the direction that the tips are pointing. That one. And when you hear that cracking, don't panic. That is normal. That is just the paper being punched through. Alright, so we're also going to need that one and this one. That one. Oh, this one. So when you're working with dies, there's two sides to them too. I didn't show you that. This flat side is what you want up. The side that you can feel that has texture is the side that is going to do the cutting. And I always like to have that side pointed down. Magic, that's right. I love paper magic. And my pink fell off. light blue, mint, yellow, pink, yeah. Greens and florals. Tulip colors, yes. And tulips. I love, our tulips here are really late. Well, probably not like the ones all over town, but our personal tulips usually bloom in June, which is so weird. I want to get some crocuses because I love snow flowers.
Crocuses are awesome.
But we haven't had any snow, so. All right, we are done with this. Sorry about the loud popping. All right, so here's our pieces for the little ornament that we're going to do. Yeah, we're just going to glue these together a little bit. And I'm going to do that with the fine point glue. Oh, I didn't put the lid on it. I hope I still have glue. It doesn't take very long for the nozzle and the fine point glue to dry shut, so I like to be much more mindful about getting a cap on it than what I was just now. And this one, we're just going to give it a couple of dots through the middle here and let the rest of that kind of curl up. All right, now,
Put the cap back on.
yes, here. Letting Cole put the cap back on that. All right, so here is some of the Whisper White seam ribbon that Stampin' Up! Sells. This is some that I have dyed with markers. It's been a while since I went over how to do this, so, and I'm not set up to show you right now. It's really simple though. So you've got your white ribbon and some of the markers or an ink pad. You can do this with ink pads too. And so let's just pretend, because I don't want to get ink all over everything right now. Pretend this is our ink pad. Lay your ribbon across it, and then I use my Take-A-Pick tool to kind of drag sections of it through the ink, and you can do different colors. And then spray it lightly with water. Hang it up and let it dry. And the colors will run together. This one I used, looks like pinks and purples and a little bit of a green right there. And that's how I get custom dyed ribbon. All right, so we're going to tie this onto our hoop. And I'm just going to gently lay that down and thread it through the leaves like so. Thank you for fresh coffee. And then tie your bow. And this is what I love about the dyed ribbon, is that you get all of these beautiful shades in there. And it just adds extra dimension. And play with your bow until it's nice and you like it. Let me grab my ribbon scissors out of here. And we'll trim that up here in a second. All right, now the other thing that we're going to do is to add another little bow of gold, but we're going to do that after we get this attached onto the box. So we've got two places we're going to be gluing this. We're going to glue the little cluster of flowers to the hoop, and then we're going to do the hoop to the box. When we do the hoop to the box, I am going to use the crystal effects because there are going to be places that it shows. And that way your mistakes look pretty. But for this, we're just going to use our fine point glue. And I'm going to run a little bit along the top of the hoop on either side. And I'm going to let that dry for just a minute. Stamp blocks make really good weights for when you need things to stay in one place, like bows. Alright, so I'm going to kind of scoot that gently so that we can stamp our sentiment. So alright, so to mask off a stamp, this is really simple and a lot of fun. Can you hand me the tape dispenser over there? We're going to do this with just plain old tape. Whatever brand of tape you use is perfect. So we're going to mask off all of the words that we're not using. This one in particular is a little bit tricky because, well, you can see that it has me is kind of embedded down underneath the L. So just be slow, go slow, be patient with it. And I'm using this stamp block that Julie's got a toy. She's a mighty hunter. And there's a dot on the eye that I don't want to cover up too. So. Most of the time, masking off a stamp is not this complicated. I just don't want to hide that eye. Right, I'm using gray granite for this, and we're going to stamp one on our grid pad just to make sure that we're good. Yeah, we'll be fine. Okay, so I'm gonna ink that back up, and then we're going to peel all of that tape off. And see, that is the only thing that stamps. Lynn, it was nice seeing you this morning. I see that you posted that like 4 minutes ago, and I'm sorry I wasn't looking up to say goodbye. Thanks for joining me. All right, now we're going to just cut this out. We could do it with the paper snips, but I like my edges to be a little straighter than I can get when I freehand things. probably don't need that much. We're going to flag the ends of these, so you really only need about maybe 3/8 of an inch between the edge of the paper and where the stamping was. Like so. And to flag your ends, just cut up from the middle and then from each corner to that middle cut. And you will have a perfectly even flag. And you can do this with ribbon too, but with ribbon I usually just eyeball it. Right, there's our little sentiment. We're going to tuck that right in here with a dimensional. And I'm going to put this over to the side because I kind of want it coming into the center of the hoop just a little bit. There we go. All right, now we will glue our hoop down to our box. And it doesn't need to be a thick continuous line. I'm just kind of dopping it around the hoop. I'm going to offset it just a little bit because our decorations here have a little bit of weight to them too. And this is why I'm using crystal effects. Did you see me slide that? So that glue is going to show. Alright, and then I added a little extra bow over here because I think it just gives it a little more shine. But you could totally leave it that way too. And since I did not bring, oh wait, there it is. Like, since I didn't bring the gold with me, but I found it. This is part of the Wonder of the Season. This is one of the clearance items. It's retiring. It's out of the August through December mini catalog. So it's in the retiring section on the website. This little cord is wonderful for all kinds of things. So if you enjoy working with it and it adds a lot of glitz and glam, I suggest going and grabbing some before it's gone. Alright, and this one, I think I'm going to put it right over. No, you know what? I'm just going to tuck it back here behind. Yeah, let's do that. A little bit of crystal effects. Hey Jen, welcome. How are you this morning? We're just getting finished up here. And this is why I store my crystal effects upside down, like all the rest of my glues, because now I'm having to wait for it to come back out. Come on. Jen, you always show up when I'm fighting with something. It's kind of funny. And my crystal effects just decided to like give me drama. Oh, good heavens. All right, we're going to use fine tip glue on this one. And then just tuck this back underneath your sentiment right there. Gives you just a little extra pop of gold shine. And make sure it stays where you want it. So there are our two projects for today. I'm having to unbury the card. Cole buried it. Yes, I am going to totally throw you under the bus. And for those of you who just joined us, yes, Cole is with me today, and he's even talking, but still has not been seen on camera. So there are our two projects for today. All right, I'm going to flip you around. Hold on. All right, thank you guys so much for joining me today. And watch, if you joined late, didn't catch the beginning, go back. There's some announcements at the beginning of the live. And look for all of those things to happen in the near future. All right, you guys, thanks so much for joining.